Welcome back, everyone. Brooks Carter may be smiling a little bigger this week. He called that Mississippi State upset. Meanwhile, I am eating crow on that one. Thank you, Nick Fitzgerald. This is the 3-Minute Drill, episode number 4. Brooks Carter, myself, Paul Shahen. Here's how it works. First, we break down 4 marquee games, and then it's his favorite 4 downs. We start with the 3:30 kick on CBS. It's number 1 Alabama at Vanderbilt, and this really should be a top 25 matchup if you ask me. Vanderbilt just beat 18th ranked Kansas State. They beat them by 7 as an underdog, and I'll say it, I think Vanderbilt, Brooks, is the best team in the state of Tennessee. Vanderbilt stole Alabama's marquee stat. The Doors, not the Tide, the Doors lead the nation in scoring defense. Is it enough to pull off the upset on number 1? No, but they're sound enough to give us those great cutaway shots of Nick Saban annoyed on the sidelines.
Also number 1 in the nation in sacks and total defense as well. So studs on defense. Derek Mason might also be the best coach in Tennessee. You referenced Vandy being the best team in Tennessee.
You're just throwing fuel on that fire. All right, another 3:30 kickoff we have. It is on ESPN. Number 16 TCU at number 6 Oklahoma State. Just another step on the way to New York City for Oak State quarterback Mason Rudolph. Rudolph is legit a Heisman candidate right now. Through 3 games, 11 touchdowns, just 1 interception, more than 1,100 passing yards. Give me the offense in this one, all pokes.
Yeah, I think this should be a fun game to watch. TCU looking more like the defense that they used to have when they were back in the Mountain West Conference. They've kind of turned into a Big 12 defense in latter years, but I still like Oklahoma State big. Mason Rudolph, 2nd highest rated quarterback in the country in terms of passing efficiency. Did
you hear what he did to Pittsburgh last week?
Yeah, he had first half, I think he had 400 yards.
No, we're not talking stats. In the stands, Heinz Field was actually giving free beer to Pitt fans who stayed for the entire 4th quarter. I did not make that up. 3:30 ABC kickoff. 5 USC at Cal. I've got to tip my hat to Cal's defense in this one. They were so bad last year on defense. They may have turned the tide last week, all but shutting down what was the nation's top-rated passing offense in Ole Miss, but I'm going to stick with Sam Darnold. Still think he is a Heisman candidate. USC keeps showing up in big games. This is a big game. They can take control of the Pac-12.
Statistically speaking, Week 4, based off Vegas odds, is the highest probability of upsets happening.
Here we go again.
But I'm going to pull Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend.
Oh, jeez.
I still like USC in this game. Which USC team's going to show up? The one that beat down Stanford or the one that's been inconsistent against Texas and Western Michigan?
7 p.m. on ESPN. I just love this matchup.
Number 17 Mississippi State at number 11 Georgia.
Why do I feel like Georgia is the underdog in this one, despite what Vegas says? I know you're chomping at the bit. Take it away.
I actually like Georgia in this game. Mississippi State coming off that emotional high. How many times have you seen a team coming off an emotional win like that fall the next week? Now, if they do win, you get a feeling that Mississippi State might start looking like that 2014 team that was number 1 in the country for 4 or 5 weeks. But I still like the Georgia Bulldogs.
In short, I have Georgia's defensive speed being the difference in this game. I love them. They showed it on the road against Notre Dame. They are battle-tested on the road. But I will say this, like you mentioned, if Mississippi State wins that game, go ahead and circle November 11th at home with Alabama. 4 downs up now, right?
Yes. All right. First down. Coach most likely to be coaching at current school September 1st, 2018, which is the first Saturday of the season next year. Butch Jones, Kevin Sumlin, Gus Malzahn, or Brett Bielema?
Oh, my goodness. I see Auburn tail spinning. Kevin Sumlin, probably not. I'm going to go. It's Butch or Brett. Butch or Bielema? Can I answer with 2?
Sure, I suppose.
All right. I'll go with most likely to be coaching.
I'm going to go with Gus.
You're going with Gus? They may tailspin. All right, moving on to second down.
All right, more likely to happen. Nick Fitzgerald finishes with 0 rushing touchdowns, or Kyle Shermer finishes with 0 interceptions versus Alabama.
That's how do you? These questions are good. Fitzgerald is gonna score on the ground. He will score on the ground. So let's go with Shermer and 0 interceptions.
Yeah, Bama's got some ball hawks in the secondary. I like Minka to maybe get an interception or 2 in that game. All right, third down. Another trivia question. I had a third down one for you last week. Can you name the 2 Power 5 teams that are still winless?
This isn't fair because I know you've seen these questions.
Of course.
All right, let's go with Florida State because they've only played 1 game. We know that's a loss.
Oh, that was going to be the hard one.
That was the easy one for me. I have a feeling the other one's in the Big 12 because I know that I looked at it, Oklahoma and Baylor.
Yes,
Baylor.
it is Baylor.
Because I looked at that game and I remember laughing like that, how far that Baylor has dropped from when they used to compete with
Paul
Oklahoma.
Shaheen got one of my trivia questions right for
I'm walking off
once.
the set. See ya. All right.
Fourth down. Team from the state of Georgia that will lose first, the Atlanta Falcons or the Georgia Bulldogs?
Atlanta Falcons. The Georgia Bulldogs will not lose this week. I don't think so. And there's no way, I shouldn't say no way, but I really believe they beat Tennessee handedly in Knoxville the following weekend. So let's go Atlanta Falcons. Is that 4?
I will take the Falcons as well. Vic Beasley out for at least a month with a hamstring injury, so huge loss for them.
Yeah, these NFL teams are so much better than some of the college football teams, even in the SEC. I mean, there's a lot of parity in the SEC right now. All right, that was the 3-minute drill, and if you were timing us, just throw your clock away because there's no way that was 3 minutes long. We say it every week. It's never going to be 3 minutes. For Brooks Carter, thank you for watching. I'm Paul Shaheen.